The locations for both our ideas will be kind of mainly based in the city, and like churches, because the other one's a religious alert. The reason we chose the city is because it's a common environment for like many people, and it kind of gives, like, although it's kind of a safe place, some people still find it kind of scary. So we're going to kind of portray that kind of element of scariness into our thriller.
And because it's a built-up area, it's easy to get lost and for things to happen there, and lots of crimes to happen.
There's lots of dark alleyways and all of that for like a crime thriller. Our other idea is a church, so we're going to have like it filmed in a church, which is also kind of because the dead people there, no offence to them, and like it's seen as quite, I don't know, a scary place because you wouldn't want to go there at night. Yeah, go on.
Some of the shots we were going to use for the London one, we were going to use quite a few bird's eye view shots, so we were going to go up some high buildings to get them. We were also going to do quite a few extreme long shots to get most of the landscape in.
We're also going to do kind of like a mix within Seven as well, so the intro is kind of him kind of, I think it's reading a book or something like that, so we're going to have this character kind of preparing knives and kind of reading the book in the same way, kind of mixed in with the locations.
For the costume ideas, because it will be in a city, we kind of want to go for the vibe like it's a businessman, so we'd go for like smart, so in suits and office wear. We haven't got it on this PowerPoint, it was on the other one.
Yeah, and also for the church kind of religious theme, we're thinking kind of big black robes, because that's kind of scary. Because I get scared of that. And kind of covering up the faces and kind of dark shadows and all of that.
For the London one, we could also do like a big coat with a hood up to kind of mask his face and to create shadows, which adds a sense of mystery and tension.
Props, we were thinking kind of obviously the Bible, because it's a religious thriller. Guns, I haven't included knives, that was on the other side. Kind of briefcase, because the businessman element. An umbrella, because kind of rain is seen as a little bit scary as well. And also the rosemary breeds and the gravestone.
We were also going to have a close-up of the phone, possibly for the London one, as well, to show like, not properly showing who they're talking to or texting, but to show they're communicating with somebody, which also adds a sense of mystery. Those are some films that we've taken influence from.
Seven, obviously, because of the reading of the book and all that, that's what we've taken influence from. Top Boy, it's not a thriller, but they use lots, it's set in London, and it's kind of the same thing to do with gang culture and everything like that. So, and they use lots of kind of pan shots and extreme long shots of London at night. And No Country for Old Men, that intro is kind of extreme long shots of kind of a desert, and no one's in a desert, so that makes it kind of like mysterious. That's not a word.
So that's a bit more on our first idea, so it will be a crime thriller set in London. We'd use fast cut editing and straight cuts between each of the long shots to kind of just jump from one place to another. For our titles for this one, we had the idea of getting them on the train departure board or having the tube map to show one person being at one place and then the other person gradually moving towards. But we'd obviously have to use quite a lot of skills for that. We'd also use a lot of shadows to create tension and mystery, and we were thinking about filming a bit in the day and then some in the night so we can kind of see which looks best.
Yeah, that's about it, I think. For our idea two, it's a religious thriller. So it'll show like a church tower and like obviously a pan shot or an extreme long shot of a church so the audience get to know the location. I've taken an idea from Hot Fuzz when, I think it's Simon Pegg, yeah. He walks into the church and he sees all these religious things, round, and then he stabs him with a fork. And yeah,
A
that
big
bit.
fork, not a little.
Oh, I
Yeah,
did
and
think you meant
tomato ketchup and stuff. So I took an idea from that because that's, although it's a spoof, it's quite kind of scary, and if you put it in a thriller, it will be scary. Yes, that's pretty much the idea. But as this character walks towards this group of people who will be dressed in kind of cloaks, like they are in the Hot Fuzz film, they will recognise him and start to chase him because obviously they don't want him there. But after a while, they run into woods, and he trips over a root of a tree, which will be shown by like a close up, obviously, of his foot tripping over. And he struggles to get up because he's in a panic. And once he does get up, he is surrounded by this religious group, and the audience is left wondering what will happen next. And ideas for titles, we will kind of, as this main character is walking into the cemetery, he will walk past gravestones. So we'll do a close-up of a gravestone and the titles will appear there. And yeah, so.
Okay, any questions? Oh, yeah. Any questions?
You know, for the people who
Yeah.
are going to be dressed in their robes,
Yes.
how many people are there going to be? Because there's only 2 of you.
We can get like
we can get people.
We can get like
I got
adults.
contacts. That's fine.
We can get like parents and people who've got like
Yeah,
who are available to have that day off work.
yeah,
That was going to be my concern as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's a lot of people to organise.
yeah. But
You-
they're just, we wouldn't need to film every single one of them kind of
At the
We can
same
running.
make,
time,
like,
I agree.
half a room at a time.
You'll still need about 7 to make
Yeah.
that work.
Yeah.
And that's still quite a few people to organise in
Yeah, I
the time
suppose
you've
it is.
got. I like the religious thriller idea. I have to say, when you said religious thriller, I thought, oh my god, not another one. Because honestly, the religious thrillers that I've seen done here so far, quite boring. But I quite like the idea of mixing it in with a kind of weird, slightly horror cult type thing. I think that could work.
That's the idea that we don't like.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that one's got more in terms of possibilities actually.
Yeah, I suppose.
I'm not really clear what's happening in the London one still, if I'm honest. And I think you're going to have a problem with that one for 2 reasons. Travelling around London
Yeah.
at any time of day, especially getting close to Christmas, expensive, time consuming. You've only got 1 day to film this. If you think about all those great big extreme long shots you want, there are certain buildings you won't be able to go up to the top of and
Yeah,
film.
absolutely.
And you won't necessarily know that until you get there.
Yeah.
So I think that one is going to be very time consuming. I think the religious thriller's got more in it, and I think there's more films that you could reference in it. I like the Hot Fuzz idea, and I think you could make that work in a kind of scary way. Could you get masks as well?
Yeah.
Like, you know, those weird kind of blank drama masks?
Yeah, they're quite cheap.
They're very
Hockey
cheap
masks.
to get hold of in craft shops.
Hockey match.
Say again?
Hockey match.
Or hockey masks, yeah, absolutely, that would work.
Just borrow them from drama.
Or borrow them from drama, absolutely. What else was I going to say? A film that you might want to watch in terms of how creepy cults work,
Yeah.
The Wicker Man, the original Wicker Man from the 60s. The end scene in particular, the idea of there being us and them, you know, all these
So the
people.
guy that gets kind of burned in some kind of big.
That's the one, that's the one. And could you have some kind of oblique reference to it at the end? Like obviously he trips over on the route and then you assume they catch him.
Yeah.
Could you have some oblique reference to it at the end of it? I think that religious thriller's got more in it,
Right.
if I'm honest. But let's not call it a religious thriller. Let's call it a weird cult horror thriller instead. Because I'm sick of religious thrillers.
Right,
Any
okay.
other questions you guys have? Nope. Okay.